Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 431. My name is Mel Popeye Moss,
Mel OG Robbins.
and we'll let him tell you sometime what OG stands for. But not tonight. We got a lot of stuff going on that we're going to get down to, and let's wait just a few more minutes here while we bring some more people in, while we're waiting on them to log in and log on. It's just, if you would like and share right now, make them old algorithms go to work. And who knows, this may be our last time on YouTube. We never can tell. And it might be after tonight that they decide, adios, guys, adios. But we have other platforms that we're working on, and we would like to tell the likes of YouTube and Mr. Zuckerberg over at the Facebook that, hey, once we're gone, once you eject us, we move to other platforms like millions of others are doing. We won't be back. We will not be back. Just letting you know, in case you decide to keep up your poor business decisions of pissing off 75 million people. I'm just saying, everybody. I'm just saying. And OG, while we're stalling here for a minute, and being as you have that in front of you, you want to talk a little bit about legislative weekend that coming up?
Oh, good Lord. Yes, it has certainly changed. We only get to do this once every 2 years, and the major problem here is we have been punched in the gut. Our opportunity to storm the Capitol, and I use the term loosely.
Yeah.
But that's typically what we do on Legislative Day, is we storm the Capitol. We have a few hundred bikers that have rallied out in front of the Capitol building, and when the speakers are done, we all head for the door and we swarm the Capitol for the rest of the afternoon.
That's right.
Only to look, I don't know about you, but I like the eye candy far better than the legislature.
Yeah. We usually go down, even if they're not there, even if the legislators are not there, we're able to talk to their staffs. And we're also able to talk to the good-looking young ladies that they hire. And, that's typical of all these politicians. They hire these young'uns that are very good-looking to work as their staff members. Now, don't tell them what's going on there, but, hey, I got to point that out.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have actually kind of shrunk down what's going to happen on legislative weekend. Even the ride around the Capitol building has been deleted.
Yeah, everybody's worried about their event being hijacked by some lunatic out there that may be trying to make us look bad. And in this case, it would be the alt-left who sees bikers as conservatives, as they lump us in with everybody else. One reason is because the bikers for Trump, and the other reason is because it's true. Many of us are veterans. Many of us are conservatives. Many of us are constitutionalists, like our group is. And so we get lumped in with everybody, even though some of our beliefs may be just a little bit different than what Republicans might think. If you know what I mean, what I'm trying to say, right?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So, if any of you have seen the flyer for Texas Biker Legislative Weekend, there are only a couple of things that you now need to pay attention to. And forget about everything else that's been written down on this flyer. On Saturday the 23rd at 6 p.m., there's a meet and greet located at the Veterans Collective. Now that's at 104 Tradesman Drive in Hutto, Texas.
Hutto.
Hutto. Well,
You
Hutto,
got it right.
Hutto, yeah. And we would encourage everyone here in Texas, hell, even y'all that are not here in Texas, if you want to come one, come all.
Come on.
What the hell? But it would be a great place to meet and greet. Meet a lot of other bikers from around the state. I'm sure there'll I don't think there's going to be any formal speakers to say, but I'm sure a few people will have a few things to say. Now on Sunday, just skip right on down to the bottom. At 1:30 p.m., there will be a rally collective for lunch, or a rally at the Veterans Collective for lunch and a COC&I meeting. At 1:30, the meeting officially starts, and the agenda will be published soon. Well, I don't think...
Hey, just come on.
Yeah, just come. There will be some speakers.
Yeah.
For those of you who may have been able to make an appointment with your legislator, and if you have, you've probably done better than winning a lotto ticket, but you could stay overnight and Monday go visit some legislators. However, it's my understanding that they've all been given the day off.
This is true, and even if you were going to visit them, it's got to be by appointment, and I haven't been able to get my legislator, to answer me, and I'm really, really pissed.
Yeah. Now, something good to know here is it's always nice to know your legislator and for them to know you, but the people that put the rubber on the ground are actually the legislators' staff.
Right.
Those are the people you really want to get to know and have them get to know you and what you're all about and what you're trying to get their boss to sign on to, because they are the gatekeepers. And unless the legislator is your brother, sister, or first cousin, it ain't going to happen unless the staff says they like it and they ought to do it.
Yeah. Get behind it. At this point, we need our bills are already sponsored. We need a supporting group of legislators, either side of the aisle. It doesn't make any difference which one, to get in behind our bills and support them. So that's where we're at with that. And
so that's what's left of Legislative Day.
Yeah, even if you can't make this weekend, it's going to be very important that you, when the bill numbers come out there, and they haven't yet, when we have the bill numbers, that you contact your legislator and get them to back these bills. Now, OG, are you ready to get started? You guys in the chat room, you ready to get started with this stuff? It's absolutely mind-boggling what's going on out there in Washington, D.C., and mind-boggling what's going on in at least 21 states across the country. Because the National Guard is on the move, everybody. It's on the move. And let me flip something here around on the cube. Whoop, there we go. Let's look at this for a minute. If I can make this work. There we go. This is Sacramento, California. Yeah.
Oh, they're headed for the Capitol?
Yeah.
Oh, in Sacramento.
Yes.
The Capitol.
Yeah.
State Capitol.
They're headed to the Capitol, and they've surrounded the Capitol, and so this is what we got going on now. Here in a second, it'll switch to the next state that where they have National Guard troops on the move, and let's see. There we go. Now that is M. I assume that stands for Michigan. They didn't quite say what state this is. But it looks like cold weather.
Yeah, the weather looks crappy.
Yeah, and they're
I see snow.
Yeah, snow. So I would assume that M is either Michigan, Minnesota. I'm not sure what state this is. Maybe somebody there. One of our guys is in Michigan. Maybe he can tell us what building that is in the background.
The bellies aren't big enough to be Minnesota.
The building's what?
The bellies on those National Guard troops are not big enough to be Minnesota.
And here's Columbus, Ohio. The troops are out there in front of the Capitol and protecting those buildings and from God knows what. And Ironhead says, yep, that's Michigan. And let me, I'm going to make his. Ironhead, I don't know why they would.
Why would they try to hide that?
I don't know.
Because he said, yep.
Look at that ugly puss on there now. Whoops, let's get it back here. Okay, so we have troops on the move in at least 21 states. And listen to this, OG. They have sworn in 2,000 National Guard troops as U.S. Marshals. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord love a duck.
U.S. Marshals. And let me show you. I'm going to flip this around here. And here they are taking their oath. Oh, yeah. They're taking their oath. Let me show you another one here. Taking their oath. There's Mr. Taylor taking his oath. It's absolutely incredible what we're seeing here. Now, I want to tell you here. I want to show you one more thing, and here we go. I'm going to swing it around here. Maybe I can get it up there. Switch it around on the cube. These are the U.S. Marshal duties and responsibilities. U.S. Marshals have the broadest jurisdiction of any federal agency. The primary role is to protect and facilitate the successful operation of the federal judiciary system. Huh? Now that's messed up, huh? To accomplish this task, U.S. Marshals perform the following duties. Here we go, bud. Here we get to the good part. Apprehend fugitives. U.S. Marshals work with federal, state, and local authorities to apprehend and arrest fugitives. Are we going to have some fugitives tomorrow? I don't know. According to the U.S. Marshals Service, they arrest more than 84,000 federal, state, and local fugitives in 2017. Maybe that number will go up in 2021, huh? I'm just saying, everybody. And so this is part of what their job is. They transport and manage prisoners, manage the U.S. Marshal Service. And the list runs on and on with that.
Well, the bottom line is, if you read that and look at it, they're not really a law enforcement agency. They track fugitives.
Yeah.
And they transport prisoners.
Yeah.
And that's basically all they do.
That's basically it.
Now, they are pretty well protected by federal law, however.
Yeah.
If you punch one, that's an automatic 10-year prison sentence.
The other thing about
Period.
it is, OG, they do not have to have warrants.
That's true.
They don't have to have warrants, everybody.
That's true.
It's incredible.
So you got to wonder, why the hell were they sworn in as U.S. Marshals?
It's a good question.
What's that all about?
Is
that to try and bypass the Posse Comitatus Act?
It's you wonder, because since Chris Miller, the acting Secretary of Defense, sees no credible, listen to this everybody, no credible insider threats. Now, I'm not too sure who the insiders would be. It damn sure wouldn't be the Trump supporters because they've been told and asked to stand down. Now, if there are any threats out there, it would be from the Antifa types, people on the left, especially if things were to start not going their way. Is what I want to say here. Because, OG, we still have the people out there that are saying, hey, this is all a big movie, and there's still cards to play here.
Well,
and Nancy Pelosi is in a sheer panic. Is it hot in here?
no, I'm okay.
Okay.
It was discussed today over the airwaves that they have really managed to totally piss off 75 million people.
Yeah.
And they've done it in such a manner. I think now they're in panic mode because the theory was that they would be able to get the Trump supporters to turn against Trump once all that crap happened at the Capitol.
Yeah.
That we'd all be in abject horror. And what it's done is, I think, first of all, we're pissed off because we absolutely know, beyond a shadow of a doubt that election was fraud. It was stolen. We know that for sure because the evidence was presented. And it was presented pretty well by Sidney and by the rest of the staff.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked very openly about the evidence that they had. They had signed affidavits. They had all kinds of criteria and background on the software for Dominion and on the Dominion machines, how they could be hacked. So, we know the courts wouldn't hear the case simply because they didn't want their local cities to burn. And Roberts wanted to be able to go home. He's so pussy-whipped that, he was in fear of his marriage and his good home if he'd have taken that case in the Supreme Court. So, everyone is totally pissed off, fractured. I got to tell you, my sweet little wife is now swearing like a sailor.
Yeah.
And you know what? When Trump was first elected, she hated him. She hated the way he looked, the way he talked. She hated everything he stood for. Now, she'd throw herself in front of a train to protect him. She thinks what has happened to this man in the past 4 years is pathetic. And she is the first to say that he has done everything that he promised us he would do.
That's exactly right. If you want to see a church-going old lady, a church-going wife, start cussing like a 20-year sailor, this will do it. What's going on now? But let me show you one other thing here. Guess who else is there on the scene in D.C.? The Pentagon has deployed 750 specially trained members of the U.S. military. These are not National Guard, including bomb squads, trauma medics, amid security concern over Wednesday's inauguration of, I can't even say it, Wednesday's inauguration. Now I'm going to end it right there. I'm not even going to say the name. The troops also include active duty trained personnel trained in extraction and decontamination operations.
Shall we say proposed and illegitimate virtual president?
I guess that's what we could say. That's what we could say. Yeah.
I doubt we'll see him in person.
Yeah. And these
Hardly
guys,
ever.
these guys would be decontaminant operations following attacks with chemical, biological, nuclear, radiological, and explosive weapons. What the hell, OG? What do they think is coming at them? Has somebody threatened? I know there's been bomb scares everywhere.
It's called old-fashioned propaganda.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Trying to scare the pants off of everybody.
Trying to scare people and trying to build a case against conservatives.
Yeah. But listen to this, OG. And, you know, this ought to really warm our hearts that the FBI, who can't be trusted, is there vetting the National Guard troops.
Oh, yeah, they've already let a couple guys go because they had ties to a militia. They belong to a militia somewhere.
So what do they do? They move them? They throw them out of the National Guard? What do you do at that point?
They relieved them from their duty at the Capitol.
I would like to follow them and see what happens to them. Because there's nothing illegal about belonging to a militia, unless they're out there doing something malicious, I guess you'd say.
Vicious and malicious.
Yeah. So, man. But hey, it's like all other militaries out there. The National Guard is sworn to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Are you hearing me, military guys out there? Are you hearing me, National Guard members out there? Now, the one difference with the National Guard is they include, especially in the officer's oath, they include follow the orders of the governor, because they're...
Actually, the National Guard is the governor's troops.
Right.
The only time the federal government can mobilize the National Guard is if the governor federalizes the troops. The governor, through the president, through the governor, federalizes those troops.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
You know, if the deep state if they've got this in the bag, why in the heck is there so much, fear out there by Nancy Pelosi and crew? Why? Because let me tell you, it was today. Katie Couric, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's talking with just, how in the hell do we deprogram all these Trump supporters? Deprogram?
Well, it was actually OC,
What?
Ocasio-Cortez, that made the statement.
Uh-huh.
Now, she's being backed by all these other idiots.
You know, we don't need to be deprogrammed. We've seen what you got to offer.
Sent to a camp.
Yeah. We're not going to a camp. There's no way this is going to happen. Now, they're going to come after us big time. They're already doing it. And we may get thrown off of YouTube tonight. Who knows? Who knows? And it's just like I said earlier, if they throw us off, we will not be back. Once we go to another platform and we start rebuilding, we won't be back. There won't be another time. You can't keep switching and rebuild and rebuild and rebuild again. You'll spin your wheels. And yeah, we're looking at Telegraph, we're looking at Patreon, we're looking at other platforms. But we're not going to leave YouTube and the subscribers we have there until they do us in. We made that decision here last week. But if we disappear, you guys, you'll be able to find out where we're at texasbikerradio.org. We'll post it there, what new platform we're on. And we can also post videos there also. The difference is we can't go live like we're doing tonight. And we're still working on that. We're still working on that. But, man, Chris Miller, acting Secretary of Defense, picks Michael Miller as NAS top lawyer. And OD, that has Nancy Pelosi pissing in her pants. She fired off a letter to Chris Miller wanting to know why in the hell he would do that with less than a day left, make this guy the top lawyer of the NAS. I mean, she has totally got her panties in a wad over it. And let me tell you, the people on the left, the Nancy Pelosi types, the deep state, they are, like I said, they're going nuts, attacking Trump supporters, attacking Donald Trump, even though he gave a farewell speech today. Now, we were talking about this earlier, OG.
Yes, we were. There are several ways it can be taken.
Yeah. He, besides it being a great speech to the American people, he talked about the next administration. He never mentioned it by name. He never said the Biden administration. He just said the next administration. And, you know, according to the people out there that are saying, hey, something big is going to happen. And, you know, many of them are claiming, hey, it's going to happen when he walks down to get on Air Force One for his ride home. And according to them, this may take several days to play out. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. But what I do know is our military, who has sworn to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And they have to realize what has happened here. There's enough evidence to show what has happened here, because they listen in on all the stuff that's going on around this country. You can't convince me that they didn't know what was happening. And they didn't know that our government had been infiltrated by foreign entities. That our vote was a fraud due to foreign interference. They have to know this. And let me tell you, OG, they had many people, many law enforcement types embedded with the Antifa types. Many of them. They know what's going on.
Well, let me give you another view through the prism, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of motorcycle clubs have law enforcement embedded.
Yes, they
in
do.
Those clubs. And it has come to our attention, particularly ATF. ATF loves bikers.
Oh, yeah.
They love to set them up. They love to tell lies. But, you know, so you have law enforcement and informants set up inside of motorcycle clubs, just like they do inside of Antifa and other groups.
Yeah.
Black
Militias.
Lives Matter. Yeah, militias.
Militias,
for
yeah.
sure. And you know what we keep reading that they do? It is their mission to set these organizations up to commit crimes.
Yes.
That's exactly what they do. That's the only way they can keep themselves budgeted.
Yeah.
and keep their little gig going is to do that. So, you know, I'm not saying that's necessarily what they're doing. However, if they follow the track they've been on with motorcycle clubs, I would not be shocked if they're not out there inciting insurrection.
They might be. They might be. So we'll find out. We'll know tomorrow. We'll know tomorrow how all this plays out. And like I said, many people say this will play out to the very end and will go on for days. And it'll play out right up to the point Trump boards Air Force One. Then we'll see what happens. Then we'll see if any of this comes true. We'll see if the military is going to step up and save the republic, and in turn save the Constitution. But Mel, let's get to the title of our show tonight. Take America Back Again. Because under this illegal administration is going to take us back to the days of Obama. They have promised to undo all the executive orders, undo all the regulations, undo everything that Donald Trump has done. Just erase it. And they're going to take us back to the Obama economy. Is what they're planning on doing. And OG, they've appointed many, many of the Obama retreads into their staff positions.
Oh, I know. They've got no imagination whatsoever.
Right. John Kerry, really? Really? I mean, what are their goals going to be in the first 100 days? Like I said, repeal all of Trump's executive orders. Increase the size and the scope of the deep state. They'll start adding to what's already there.
Absolutely.
That is frightening, guys.
They're going to recharge the swamp.
That's right. And they're going to go after Trump. I don't know how Donald Trump thinks he can go home and just exist. They're going to come after him with a vengeance. They're going to come after us with a vengeance.
They're going to keep coming and keep coming.
That's
you
right.
know, there are a fair number of Trump 2020 signs in my neighborhood that are still up.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what's going to happen after tomorrow, if they stay up or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I would intend to keep my Trump flag up.
Yeah.
However, in the back of my mind, I'm noodling the fact that maybe I'm setting myself up as a target, too.
Yeah.
But I don't mind so much. You know, a good excuse. Just saying.
You know, OG, if they think they're going to shut us up, they're really pissing into the wind. They're not going to shut us up. We're going to go to other platforms that want us and they want to make money. There are other platforms out there who are gearing up today, as we speak, to handle the people that are coming their direction. Telegraph went up by 500 million new customers almost overnight. And now there's the usual conservative names that are over on that platform right now as we speak, including ourselves. Now we're tinkering around with it, trying to learn how to use it and use it properly and get the word out there, and we'll let you know when all that happens and comes about. But it doesn't hurt to be connected to us in alternate platforms. So in case one gets shut down, we just move on to the other. So we need to populate those platforms. And we'll tell you as we go along, and we post the links to these other platforms. And yeah, we'll post our videos where we're allowed to on these platforms, where they have enough bandwidth or whatever to allow us to post videos. And we'll go back to producing videos rather than live videos, but there is some cost to that. And we pride ourselves in not asking you for money, but with Patreon, it seems like that's a merchant deal. So, but we're still trying to figure it out how it works, and we'll have Chuck take a look at it. So, anyway, so increase the size and scope of the deep state. They're going to go after Trump. More censorship, everybody. More censorship. And so that's going to be on steroids. They've already tossed everybody and his brother off of Twitter, but we're not using Twitter, so we don't give a damn. We haven't used them very much. And so, yeah. Now, they're going to flood the country with illegal immigrants. We've already showed you this last night.
Now you heard they're saying the largest convoy ever, the largest caravan ever is coming up out of South America, Guatemala.
Yeah.
Headed for the United States.
9,000 strong.
And
I don't know that's the largest ever, but it's 9,000.
Well, that's what they've been touting it as.
Yeah,
yeah. But, they're headed straight for the border with all the confidence in the world that the new administration is just going to let them in, arms open.
This is what's going to happen, everybody. They're going to flood the country with immigrants, and they're going to give them health care. They're going to give them free education. They're going to give them stuff our children do not get. And we're going to be expected to pay for it. That's what's headed our way. And like I said last night, when these people get in and they throw citizenship at them, they are loyal to the party that brought them in. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Do you hear me, military? The country's fixing to be invaded. And they're going to invite them in for the invasion.
And you're protecting the idiots who are going to allow it.
That's right. And so they're going to increase the China virus mandates. They're going to want to put us all in masks. They're going to do all kinds of goofy stuff with Dr. Fauci at the helm. We can promise you this, and they even may probably will mandate vaccines. So, wow. Now they're going to increase more stimulus money. $1,400, I hear, is headed our way. Although I did not get the $600. I did not. You did, OG?
I got mine.
See, I didn't get it.
Now, you got the last one, right?
I got the first one.
You should have got the second one.
Didn't get the second one.
And I'm looking forward to the third. I want to see those idiots break the country.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
So they're going to do a third one now, $1,400 headed your way. I don't know that it's headed my way. But understand what they're doing. They're throwing cash out there to try and buy you. That's the reason I said not long ago, what would make you sell out the country? How much would it take? How much would it take for them to keep throwing money at you? Because they may be perfectly willing to do it, to get you to buy in, to get you to shut up, to get you to stand down. Just saying, everybody. The other thing that's coming, OG, is a $15 hour minimum wage. A lot of people see that as a good thing.
Get ready for your $10 Big Mac.
That's right. You will see a $10 Big Mac. And you'll see a $10 of everything else, too. If you're smoking cigarettes, stand by. It's already $100 a carton, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. If you want a decent brand,
Mm-hmm.
you'll pay close to that. Now, they're going to create one hell of a black market for cigarettes.
Yeah, they are. Well,
they're
there
gonna
already is out there. A lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
I knew people were buying Russian cigarettes through the internet. I don't know if that still exists. Maybe somebody on the chat line can tell us. But I had a friend that was buying Russian cigarettes left and right. It's incredible. They're going to go after the churches, OG.
Oh, that's for sure.
Anybody that thinks that, hey, look, we're in the sanctuary of the Lord, and we're safe. It's in God's hands. God didn't mean for you to sit back and let Satan have its way. I don't think that's the way it works.
Well, they keep, even back to Obama, they kept referring to us clutching our guns and Bibles.
Yeah.
Now, that was a big, major hint.
Yeah.
Keep saying Bibles.
Get ready for that to come back, clutching our guns and our Bibles. Yeah. Yeah. So they're going to come after us. I mean, it's here. The OG, they're also going to, I don't want to say renew their relationships with China under this next administration, if that happens.
They can just be more open about it.
Yeah, that they never have stopped their relation with China. It's just going to continue. And they are going to sell access. They are going to enrich themselves at our expense. They will continue to ship jobs overseas, to ship technology into the hands of the Chinese, the CCP. They will continue that because they have never stopped. They have never stopped. The despots that exist within our government will continue until somebody, and preferably our military, puts a stop to it. If you remember the Facebook revolution that happened in Egypt, and Facebook was so proud of that accomplishment, that they put that government in the hands of despots. The Islamic Brotherhood, that it took the Egyptian military to take hold of things and straighten it out. Now, the Egyptian military is still in charge in Egypt. They haven't put it back in the hands of the government yet. And it may take a very long time for that to happen in that country. I don't know what's going to happen in this country. We don't have a magic globe to tell us.
Well, in my mind, the tinder is here now.
Yeah.
The tinder has been created. We can only imagine what the spark might be.
Yeah. You're correct. And as mentioned in the chat room just moments ago, yes, gas prices have already started to go up. Yes, they have. And we'll see how that works out when they start trying to do the new Green Deal and other goofy ideas that they have planned for environmental reasons. Fake environmental reasons. The earth is still going to be here long after we're gone. The seasons are going to change long after we're gone. And so, yeah. And Ronnie said, let's talk about the $15 an hour minimum wage. You know, what Trump was able to do in just 4 short years, and it's a shame that this is not going to continue, because wages were going up, jobs were being created, and, you know, it has a natural progression. And to do an artificial $15 an hour wage is just gonna make the inflation. It's gonna start increasing pretty quick, I do believe.
A lot of these companies aren't stupid. I mean, you know, there are. I've been in a number of McDonald's where you can't even order from a human anymore.
That's exactly right. Everybody listen now, that machine out there that cooks 300 hamburgers an hour automatically, it's still out there.
Yep, you have to go to the kiosk to order your meal.
Yeah.
You pay for your meal with your credit card at the kiosk.
Yeah.
They pump out a little ticket with a number on it, and there's either a bag or a tray that appears when they're done with your order.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've cut the staffs tremendously in some of these stores.
You know, and now we have the people in these states that have been locked down, New York, California, everything else, these other states. Now they're starting to say, well, mate, look, it's time for us to open back up. It's time for us to open back up. Sending a signal out there that, you know, hey, we can't we can't continue this. Their economies are hurting. Of course, Cuomo is expecting a $4 billion bailout for New York.
Well, Schumer's already talking about it.
Yeah. He's
already bragging about some bill that he's going to present for California. I don't know if they've talked about New York yet or not.
Yeah.
But they're already talking about a major bailout for California.
Yeah.
Now, who in the hell do you think's going to pay for that? Texas will pay for it.
Yes.
And if Texas pays for it, guess how Texas gets their money? The last I knew, none of these governments were in any kind of a business where they could generate revenue. When they want revenue, they raise our taxes.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. You and I are going to pay for California to be bailed out, and then we're going to pay for New York, and we're going to pay for every one of those other blue, miserable cities that burn to the ground.
Yeah.
And these stupid states that allow Democratic, liberal governors to run them. And I now count Mitch McConnell as just flat-ass blue. He's not even a rhino anymore.
Yeah.
After the statement he made today. And you know what? That fat ass let his wife sit on Trump's cabinet for 4 years as Secretary of Labor.
Yeah.
What the hell? And he burns Trump on his last day, getting up and making a big, grandiose speech about how Trump and other powerful entities caused the insurrection, caused the riot.
Yeah. Hey, we got people going here on our live chat line, and let me see. His name was Taba. Anyway, Taba Joe said that unions are commies. Now, I can back that up as a former union organizer. Back in the 70s, that's what I used to do. I can back that up, and I can tell you that statement is true. And in the 80s, I got wise to it. I got wise to everything, and I changed my mind on everything because of what they were doing, because of what they were supporting. And this no justice, no peace is nothing new. All those kind of chants and everything we're seeing is nothing new. It's union tactics is what it is. And now we have union tactics on steroids. Now these people that are coming after us are vicious. They are vicious. We cannot, at this point, the 75 million Trump supporters, we cannot fragment. Now I would assume that the Republicans that are in office right now are toast. They're going to get their asses kicked out if the Republican Party survives, because the name has been tinted. We'll see what happens and what forms after this. But even if we run off into separate groups, we've got to come back together at some point when it's time to vote. We've got to settle behind one party and be a unified force. And we have to reach out to the people that are reachable. You know what I'm saying? It's like I pointed out last night. I got two sister-in-laws that listen to nothing but their pea brains and the people on the left. Their minds are closed. They like to say mine is, but I am a constitutionalist. We follow the Constitution. It is the supreme law of the land, and it has been violated again and again and again as these people make up their own freaking rules. Laws for them and laws for us, you guys. That's what it is. And we've got to bring things back into line with or without the military. We've got just a few months before we start seeing how this plays out, how this is going to sort out. Because people are going to start running for office, and we encourage you to run for office. If nothing else, just to get our message out. This is what I'm saying. There is one more chance at this, and it's 24 months away. And yeah, it is time for Texas to secede, but we don't have anybody in the legislature that's ready to support that. We have to elect them. We have to put them into office. We have to find out who those people are. And yes, maybe it's time we split this country apart. Let the blue states do what they will, go which way they want to go, and let the red states leave us the fuck alone. We'll stay with the Constitution. We'll stay with our founders, is what we'll do. Yeah.
Let me add to that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Let me add to that. Don't think Popeye was talking about the federal ballot and federal offices, because we know the federal government is so far gone, corrupt. Most of them are nothing but a bunch of frickin' thieves, turncoats, and treasonous.
Yeah.
And I say treasonous because of their ties with Red China. What we're talking about is, and where the vote, I don't think, is too contaminated yet, the voting process, and that is your local offices. Think about it. School boards. Think about how screwed up our kids have become because of schools through the past decades. because of the lame brain idiots we allow to be elected to a school board. You want to run for an office, something that would be incredibly simple, a simple job? Get yourself on a school board to where you can start controlling or have a say in what in the hell is going on in the school districts where you live and where your kids go to, or your grandchildren, or your friends' children. Start there. We've got to get control of these local governments so we can get things turned around. We get rid of the commie bastard teachers that have infiltrated our school systems and made mush heads out of our kids. This stuff where they can teach them all about trannies and gay and it's okay. That's bull crap. You know it and I know it. Get into these local offices. Become a commissioner, a councilman. Everyone can do it. It doesn't take that much. And you know what? Here alone in Texas, we have over 500,000 registered motorcycles. That's one hell of a voting block. If any of you out there, I mean, even in other states that are listening to us, if you want to run for a public office, and it's especially a local one, let us know. We'll reach out and we will try to help you in any way we can. A lot of you may not know it, but Popeye here ran the Arlington Tea Party. He was chairman for a number of years. He's politically savvy. I just kind of follow along. But we can help. We can give advice. We can rally the bikers. We did it in Waco. We got rid of a crooked DA down there. Just proof that it can be done. So think about it. Don't think the entire voting system is illegitimate. They haven't reached down into the bowels yet. They wanted the presidency and senators and legislators on a federal level. And that's about as far as it's reaching at this point, as far as we can tell. Get yourself involved in local government.
Exactly. And let me say this. As far as school boards are concerned, you know, the people on these school boards aren't rocket scientists. They're indoctrinators, is what they are. Know what your schools, know their curriculums. Look into it. What are they teaching? Visit the classrooms, and that really gets them. You know, my mother used to do that. Of course, she used to have to come and keep an eye on me and not the teachers, but now we need to go and see what the teachers are doing, not necessarily what our students are doing. You need to teach your child, when they're old enough, how to know that they are being indoctrinated. Have them report to you what's going on in their classes. Ask them what happened in their classes today. Keep an eye on what they're being taught. And then, in turn, you teach them the correct information they need. Don't allow them to be indoctrinated into this despicable crap we see going on, where they hate themselves, where they hate the government, where they hate their country, and they recognize socialism, communism is a better option, because it's just not true. Just not true. It's something we've been fighting all our lives. It's something our military have fought again and again and again. And if they don't take action tomorrow, they are pissing on the graves of every veteran that died fighting communism, socialism, the despots of the world. That's what I'm saying. And you got anything in closing? I'm sure we'll think of something an hour. At midnight, I'll wake up. Oh, hell, I should have said this.
We'll remember it later.
Yeah. And so you guys will monitor what's going to happen tomorrow. And you know, a lot of it's going to depend how quick this other administration, this socialist bunch of wackos, fuck things up. How fast that's going to happen. Because I have a feeling with everything being on steroids and everything they're planning on doing, they're going to try and do this as quick as they can, because they'll think it can't be undone. But Donald Trump is proof that that is not true. We don't have to settle for stagnant economies. We don't have to settle for bad deals with the despots of the world, including the Chinese Communist Party. We don't have to settle for this stuff. We don't have to settle for our politicians selling us out. We do not have to settle for this. And we will point everything out every step of the way as they do it. As the people start suffering, we'll point it out again and again and again, and they can't shut us up. They're not going to. We won't allow it. And yes, there will be a time when we need to get back out there. There will be a time. With that, everybody, if you don't have a motorcycle, buy one. Come ride with us. Come ride with us. It's so much damn fun. And OG, I took some video of our ride the other day, and for some reason, that thing is like the Keystone Cops. It's fast. It goes fast as hell. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I can't seem to get a video to work out right when it comes to GoPro cameras. But
stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
And healthy.
That's right.
And hang on.
Hang on. It may be a wild ride tomorrow. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Good evening, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.